Okay, so I'm making this guide to help people who are stuck in like the legendary area. I would consistently get masters back when I used to play a lot, and as I've gotten back more into the game, I see that there's oftentimes people who are stuck, and I feel like I've got some knowledge that I can give. And so right now I'm Legendary 1, and so I'm going to kind of document my games as I'm going up and try to give you all tips that you can use with your games. So here the bands have been selected already, and I think they're fairly straightforward. When you have first pick, you kind of want to give a block any of the good last picks. And so Sirius, Leon, Crow, they're all very good brawlers. And so I like to kind of hover over one that I'm going to ban. And if the person who would be picking first on my team doesn't try to pre-select it, then I'll just go ahead and ban it. Now, in terms of my pick, I know, at least with my Rico, I know that I can dominate any matchup on this map specifically. That isn't, I guess a thrower would be the only difficult matchup. But they don't go a thrower, and I'm running vision gear to kind of help secure more kills, and because I don't feel like I'll need to use my gadget a ton, because ideally I should be able to keep people pretty far away. And so I like our comp a lot. We have a distinct mid with our Pierce, and then 2 good lanes. The only thing with Clancy is that until he gets into the game and gets to level 2 and 3, he is not great and can have trouble holding his own. And so there'll be a game where we kind of have to like look and focus on that. And so I think this video will primarily be about the importance of keeping width. Here I have the Griff pinned back very far. Because of my dominance on the lane, I'm able to pinch down on the gem carrier and kind of keep control over the mine. Because in a game mode like Gem Grab, where the objective is static, as in like the mine doesn't move, and control is focused, like the part you need to control doesn't change. When in a mode like Brawl Ball, it does, because like the ball is like what you need to control. And then in Knockout and Bounty, obviously it's people. So I can make a separate video on that. But so I'm yet to die. I've dominated this right lane the entire time. Killed the gem carrier a handful of times, and yet we still are lacking control as a team. And so I finally go down now, and then they get the countdown. And so right now I'm thinking that like I see my Clancy still in stage 1. That's a problem. And so it took him in the final 5 seconds of the game to get to his second stage. So because he was getting bullied so hard, he was having to crowd the mid, which allowed the Surge to push down and pinch in with the bow. So even though I was able to push the Griff back into their spawn at times, because the left lane crumbled, there wasn't a whole lot we could do. And so this game, I see the Clancy is in the middle, and dang near on my lane. And so when you're playing with randoms, positioning can be a problem. And so here we get 2 kills. The Clancy is still holding this right side. And so pretty soon, I believe, I realized that he's just not going to go over, and we don't want our Pierce on a lane. We want him in the middle. And this Clancy is clearly not going to hold the left. So I don't know if this was him trying just to tell me that he can't take the surge. Again, like if I was playing with teammates, you'd be able to know that. But so you make the decision to switch yourself. I maybe should have done that a little sooner, but was doing it nonetheless. Proves to be important. The Clancy gets a good kill. As you can see, he's tier 3 now, which is already higher than he was the entirety of last game. And so when they have 10 gems and you are nowhere close to, so I make a good play here. And I was able to kind of get a wipe. I did forget about these bow mines and the game gets a little messy. But what I was saying is when the gems are stuck in your opponent's spawn, you don't want to rush. We had a three-person control. They were all pinned back. They weren't going anywhere. And so that is what you want. Really good super from the Clancy. And now I see he's got 10. They can't get enough. So we just try to Secret Service him out, protect him essentially. But me switching to the left kind of changed the game here. And then you see Clancy doing that and dying and give them 19 gems. So that was, I don't know, I don't have enough words to describe what that is. And that's just kind of the stuff you have to deal with as a teammate. And I thought this game was over here. Our Pierce, I don't know what he did, but he got a team wipe and he's goated. So he single-handedly kept us in the game after the Pierce's error. And so here, when the gems are even like this, you want to just keep control, staying alive, holding this lane. I've held this left lane for, I died there sloppily, but 2-3 minutes. And so when you're nearing the end of a gem grab game on time, really good kill there. That's just why Rico's so good on this map and why I felt confident against him or with him against any matchup. Okay, we finally secure the 29-0 gem lead and get timed out in gem grab. But that whole game switched around because we started to hold our width and we were able to pin them back, stop the countdown multiple times. And so now I'm going, like I go right again, but I'm paying attention to this Clancy, and if he ends up getting pushed into the middle again by the surge, then I'm going to go and swap because I feel comfortable laning against either the Griff or the surge. It doesn't matter. So that's a good kill by the Griff there. Unfortunately, I was able to take the bow, and so I see Clancy move over to the right, and so immediately I just go back to the left. And because the only thing that matters is having people on both sides. And so having the game sense to see that your teammate is losing a lane and is getting pushed to the mid, and then swapping with him, whether forcefully or not, to then provide the width that the team needs. That's something that I don't see a lot from people who are in the legendary ELO area, but something that Masters players will do quite often. And so this has been pretty smooth sailing. I swapped over, and the surge has done nothing. He just killed me there. But it took him this long to get to a second stage, and then we just see out the game. I know I can die because I don't have any gems, obviously, and so I just try to help defend them, and then that's it. Easy. And so the main thing that turned this whole thing around was being able to swap lanes with the Clancy, see that he was getting bullied, and then get that control back in a control-based game mode like Gem Grab. And so if you found this helpful, please let me know. I would love to make more videos, and so if there are other concepts or other game modes that you tend to struggle in, let's put that in the comments, and then I'll take a look, and then I can get videos going on that. But I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch, and hopefully you learned something. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.